created viruses, millions of them, that took animals and mixed these together. In time, they created the AIDS virus. They used 500 different corporations, campuses, even used Russia to make viruses. Do you think? We all know many people who've done it. Go to the next point. They have the AIDS virus. They have cancer. And they even have the Ebola virus in warehouses out there, which you didn't know. This is real. I really want you to write down the name of those books and find them.
This is supposed to be democracy. To me, this is more fascism. I can expect this in Russia, not in America.
It doesn't make sense that the ingredients in checkmate that we will be forced to inhale are being kept a secret. I hear that Sakara is now reformulating the checkmate formula. I guarantee that this is not an attempt to make the product safer, but another act of subterfuge in Sakara's behalf to keep us ignorant of the correct and current ingredients. You must understand that you are then complicit in an act of chemical warfare perpetrated by the state against the state.
Or you're just going to sit there passively and then just push this on us. Because I feel like I really don't have a say. You're sitting there, but you're sitting there very impassively, and it's making me very nervous. It's making me very, very nervous. Because I really feel like this is like Big Brother. I don't feel like I live in a democracy anymore. I don't feel like I have any rights, and now I don't even have the right to any media. Are you getting this? I mean, how can you slip that now? How can you do this to innocent people? I don't understand. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. What did they do in other countries? Other countries, I travel a lot. It's not like this. It's not, they don't have pesticides in everything, and they do just fine. In fact, their food is a lot more healthy.
I'm president of Health and Habitat, and I'm an initiator, and I sit on the Integrated Pest Management Commission. I also have 40 years as an epidemiological assistant. According to the State Health Department statistics, 17% of the population are already aware that they are chemically sensitive. Some of these to the point of being disabled and incapacitated. How do you plan to protect this vulnerable population? People with genetic predisposition to chemical sensitivities and Gulf War syndrome types that have been studied are at a greatly increased risk from exposure to any chemicals. And recent research shows that genetically deficient detox systems do not remove chemicals well, so they build up and cause disturbances in normal bodily functions. One also has to consider the total load, as exposure to chemicals and LBAM spray are not in isolation. Have you considered these 2 points? The state of California is giving people a chemical treatment without their informed consent. If adopted this, they would be in violation of state laws and committing malpractice. I've typed up 500 questions for your document.
SFA is basically the opposition to all of the madness being perpetrated by this country. What is the chance that this is the chemical weapon?
I'm speaking as the president of the North Coast Rivers Alliance. The CDFA LBAM Aerial Pesticide Spray Program is a project under the California Environmental Quality Act. This mandatory EIR must address
health and safety impacts of all pesticides on people, pets, wildlife, endangered species, including steelhead, coho, and Chinook salmon, and amphibians. Testing of all pesticides with their ingredients must be done by a third party. It must be unbiased testing. The EPA, USDA, CDFA, and DPR have relied on the pesticide and chemical industry to determine safety. They've been doing all the testing for our own agencies, the industry that sells the pesticide. That is unacceptable. We need independent third party. There is a direct link between the manufacturer of the pesticides, the approvals of state agencies, and campaign contributions to the governor and the members of the Assembly and Senate agricultural committees. The governor supports the spray. He received $144,000 in campaign contributions from the owners of Checkmate. The Assembly and Senate agricultural committees have done nothing to stop it. They each received thousands of dollars in contributions. The EIR must disclose campaign contributions made to all public officials by the pesticide manufacturer. I live in Fairfax, where there is a total ban on the use of pesticides in the commons. I have a letter from the mayor of Fairfax, which I'll give you, asking the CDFA to advise Fairfax how it will comply with Fairfax's pesticide ban. The EIR must address city pesticides bans like Fairfax's. Lastly, the EIR must address why our government agencies continue to believe they have to poison us to save us.